Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an impromptu, but not really, Q&A session here on DSPGaming. It is October 19th, 2022. I have an hour to hang out with my audience tonight with nothing really to do. We finished Scorn. Thank God. I really wanted to end it tonight, so I did not have this as a lingering playthrough. We got it done. It's over. It was trash. The ending was superbly bad. Really, that's a game that completely ruined itself halfway through. I can't believe how a game that started, like, up here, then the further you get in, it just goes further down, 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 and by the end, you're like, please just end. Please just end. And then it ends, and you're like, hallelujah. So, we finished it, okay? And thank goodness I did. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Now, we have an hour to relax and chill. It is Q&A. We will talk. All right, so if you guys have any questions, please tag me in the stream chat, and I will start to answer, and we'll have a cool, chill time. This is about actually literally the last part of my week where I can just relax with you guys before I have my day off tomorrow. Hold on one second, because, ladies and gentlemen, today, thanks to a ridiculous amount of support on the earlier stream, we hit a new record amount of members on the channel, and tonight we actually got a couple more. So I'd actually like to see where we're at right now for members. It appears we are at 828. And the reason I want to mark that is because I want to keep marking the highest members we've ever had. We are going to lose a bunch of members in a couple of days because there was a member bomb that happened in late September. I remember it. And it's coming. So when that member bomb expires, we're going to dip. So I want to keep marking off what was our record high. Our record high right now here on DSP Gaming, 828. And it was actually, I believe it was 672. It might have been someone else earlier who actually said to me, my regular number of subs that I had over on Twitch when I left a year and a half ago was actually around 880. So we almost have reached that level that I was at over on Twitch, if you can believe it. Which is pretty darn cool when you think about it, right? Okay, so all that being said, let's have some chill times tonight, all right, guys? I did not see any of the footage of the Silent Hill stuff. I'm already getting asked. No, I didn't see it. It happened during my stream earlier. I know it exists. I saw pictures of it on social media, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm likely going to take time to watch it over the next day or two. We'll probably talk about it on the podcast coming up on Friday morning. But no, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. I mean, the news is great. We talked about the news of the games earlier today. But I'm you know, obviously I'd like to look at it and give you my honest opinion on it when I get a chance. Another $3 tip just came in from CM Foley. Says, Scorn gets the good ending or the Quiet Man side B run. Is there really a good ending to Scorn? It certainly didn't seem to me like there was anything else you could do there. It seems like, you know, the woman had to stay standing at the thing, the door, to keep it open. If she had let go, the door would have closed, so you can't get through, so she couldn't have defended you. I think that's bullshit. Okay. Cool. Deadman Freddy asks, what's the best horror game I've ever played and I still have high praise for? Resident Evil 1. Why? It's the one that put Silent Hill. It's the one that put survival horror on the map. Resident Evil 1 on PS1 is the first horror game I ever played. It scared the crap out of me. It really did. With the jump scares and the limited ammo and the fact that you didn't feel like you were powerful in the game. It really was a different experience for me, and I legitimately was creeped out by that game in the 90s when it first came out. My first horror gaming experience, honestly. So for me, that's always going to stand out in my head as like the quintessential survival horror. But if you want to talk recently, last year I played Visage. That game scared the crap out of me, certain parts of legit scares. Resident Evil 2 Remake, I felt was the best modern version of a survival horror game that we've had so far. It had everything. It had groundbreaking graphics, a redone story, great gameplay elements, tons of content. Like, I absolutely loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. So, those are some of, I don't have like an outright overall, this is the best ultimate, but if you're like, what's the one that stands out in your mind? Survival horror. First thing you say when you say survival horror, I remember the dog jumping through the window in Resident Evil 1. And the gunplay, you know, there's the zombies coming around corners. You can't stop them because the bullets don't stop them right away. I remember that. That's always going to resonate with me when you say survival horror. So, Overpower Boone says, how does Visage rank scary games for you? Visage, again, it's the modern survival horror where there's no combat, right? Visage is psychological horror, first-person survival style, a lot of creepiness to it. Some of it I didn't like. Some of it I did not find scary. But a lot of it I did find scary. So, I would say, in regards to Modern horror, Visage is probably like maybe top 3, top 5. I still think Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best. Probably I'd say like Resident Evil 7, 8 are ranked around equal. And then you probably got Visage in there as well. So, let's see here. Chia says, some say the characters in Act 1 and Act 2 are different, and the Act 1 character becomes the symbiotic parasite. Really, it's just like Metal Gear Solid 2. So what you're saying is the first half of the game, you're playing as one character who woke up, used it, you know, you're using the pod guy in the chair or whatever. I'm trying to remember, how does that guy's story end? The first half of the game, how does that guy's story end? Doesn't, like, goo come in or something? So what you're saying is you think that becomes the symbiote, and then that's the symbiote that attaches to the guy in the second half of the game? It could be. It definitely could be. The thing is, definitely the game is an unfinished story. I don't think anyone's gonna deny Scorn's story is not complete. It's meant to be open to interpretation, and you interpret it however you want. That doesn't necessarily turn into like the best game, though. You know. Okay. Derek says, "What are some great bad ending video games?" I don't even remember any bad ending video games. Usually horror games don't have definitive good endings. The endings are usually bad, but I hate to say it, guys. You guys ask me questions that I'm not ready to answer. Here, let me explain. I have a show. It's called Ask the King. I do it every other month, right? The next episode that I'm going to do is in December. It's probably going to be a Christmas special. Ask the King is good if you want to ask me questions such as, what are your favorite? Can you think of this? Count down your favorite. That's when you ask that. Why? Because I look at those questions ahead of time. I sit down. I have time to think of answers. All right? When I'm on just a random Q&A or a random stream, and you ask me, what is your countdown of the top 10 of this and that? I can't answer those questions. I just can't. I don't have the resources to sit here and go through data mining, all the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like you guys think that I'm like a repository of tons of data of games and stuff. I'm not. I'm just a guy like you. You know, I love games, but I just don't have access to a wide variety of library of gaming information in my head at all times. So you can't ask me those kind of questions. I'm not going to have your answer. If you want those answers, you have to ask me on a show like Ask the King, where I can do research or have time to get you an answer. You know what I mean? That's when it's time for those. All right? And that's not just Derek. It's a lot of people have been asking me already tonight. What is this? What's the top this? What do you think? This is not the time for that. This is just, you know, on the fly questions about random stuff. But you can't ask detailed countdown questions and stuff. You're not going to get a good answer. All right? Okay. All right. Bravado Entertainment did a super chat, says, do you drink? If so, best way to contact you. What? Do I drink? Yes. In fact, I'm having some water tonight. If I did not drink, I probably would pass away, because I am human, and humans do require liquid sustenance in order to stay alive. The best way to contact me is email, darksidefil@hotmail.com. But I have absolutely no idea what you want to speak to me about in regards to drinking liquids. I'm not a competitive drinker when it comes to liquid drinking. You know, I'm not like the Joey Chestnut of drinking. So I don't know exactly what you're getting at, but that's how you should reach me. Thank you for the super chat there. Okay. When do I think there'll be Elden Ring DLC? Probably by the middle of next year. I feel like it'll be kind of along the same timeline as all those other big releases that are coming out early in the year, but they don't want to time it exactly the same. Maybe April, May-ish, but I'm just completely speculating. I really feel it will be about a year after the release of Elden Ring. We'll see the major DLC for it. What's my most anticipated games in the next 2 months is Redemption Games. God of War Ragnarok is the biggest, because God of War was my 2018 game of the year. I mean, I'd be really stupid to not be excited for the sequel, and this is actually the end of the plot line. Rather than being a trilogy, it's only 2 games, so we actually get to see a resolution to the Norse mythology plot line, which will be really cool. Outside of that, I did like Modern Warfare 2's beta. So as long as the multiplayer has a lot of content to it, I think that's going to be a really fun game to play long-wise, you know, maybe once or 2 times a week moving forward once it comes out in about a week and a half here. Callisto Protocol for sure. You know, the spiritual successor to Dead Space, right? I'm really excited. So, you know, that should be really neat. Outside of that, that's just what's coming to the top of my mind. I'm not, you know, again, I can't do big countdowns and stuff here, but that's what comes to my mind. Okay. Which was my favorite, making Left 4 Dead videos or Resident Evil 5 co-op videos? Resident Evil 5 co-op videos. The first time I played Resident Evil 5, I started playing solo. Then I started teaming up with randoms online. And I finished it with randoms online when I was pissed drunk. I definitely remember that. The second run of Resident Evil 5, I played solo. So I don't even know what that means because I don't remember Resident Evil 5 co-op videos. But if you mean Left 4 Dead, I mean, Left 4 Dead was super fun to play when it was new online. It was very fun. Have I had stick drift on my PS5 controller? I think one of them had it a little bit, but then it stopped. So it hasn't been a big deal. I can't remember. Let's see. Nothing. We got, guys, we got view botting going on, and we also have stupid sub botting going on the channel. It's just nonsense. It's going to go away. For example, earlier today, we were up to 219,000 subs. Now people are telling me we're down to 210 again. We're supposed to be at 200,000. We just hit 200,000 about a week and a half ago. And that's about where we are. I think when we were legitimately with subs, it was like 200,000, 250 or something like that. And then this stupid sub botter started doing dumb shit. So just ignore it. Same thing with the view count. It means nothing. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Some idiot who's coming on here trying to get people to talk and make drama when it doesn't exist. That's why. Well, I don't care about it. I'm not talking about it. Let's see here. An anonymous tipper is asking about me getting into bar fights with Reviewtech USA and Wings of Redemption. That's some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard. I'm not even going to answer. I'm just going to say thanks for the $2 tip. And, you know, if you actually want an answer, you should think of better questions because that was really stupid. Incredibly dumb. Like, robustly, supremely unintelligent. Okay. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Do you remember the first video you did live streaming with your camera? You mean, what you're asking is, do I remember the first video I ever did with my camera at all? Yes. It was, I went to Midwest Championships 2007, which was a Street Fighter tournament held just outside of Chicago at an arcade. And I went there with my Sony digital camera, and I was doing little mini videos of some gameplay and stuff like that. And when I went home, I just on a whim uploaded it to my YouTube channel. It got like no views. This is my original Dark Side Phil YouTube channel in 2007. It did like no views at all. I mean, maybe a couple hundred. One or two people in the Street Fighter community commented on it. Oh, this is nice to see the tournament or whatever. And that was it. Then it was a year later where I actually had that same camera and I pointed it at my widescreen HD TV and I recorded Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, Star Destroyer gameplay sucks. I was at home because I was sick. I had a sore throat. I felt like shit. I've been playing this game, and I got to a point where I couldn't continue. And the reason was, the game was glitched. The on-screen prompts at a point where you're supposed to be this star killer character who's like ultimately powerful with the Force. So powerful, he can actually control Star Destroyers in the space and move them with the Force power. So basically, he's the most powerful Jedi ever. Who else could do that? Not even Vader, right? Probably not even the Emperor. So he's doing this, but the on-screen QuickTime prompts are incorrect. They're actually reversed from what you're supposed to do. So I'm trying to play this, and it's not working. Now, I had watched people like the Angry Video Game Nerd and others do silly videos. I said, I kind of want to do a video like that where I just kind of rage at the game. So I did. And the whole time I'm just like, man, this sucks. And I had a sore throat trying to do it. So I wasn't really like screaming or nothing. But I was like, man, this sucks. Look at this. You press this and then it doesn't work. And it's glitched. And it was funny because I put the video out not expecting much. It didn't go crazy viral or anything. But it did like maybe within a week, probably like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 views. And I was surprised that many people had found like the video because I was like, how could they find it on YouTube? There's so much stuff on that site. And it kind of inspired me to just do similar videos of other games like Mercenaries 2. And then when I played Dead Space, I did highlights. I didn't do a full playthrough. I just did highlights of what I thought were some of the scariest moments of the playthrough, including the ending, which was a big spoiler. A lot of people got angry at me because I spoiled the ending. Or did I? I actually don't think I did. I think I was going to, and then I didn't. But I basically started just doing kind of clips and excerpts. and people liked them to the point where then people started asking me, will you just do a full playthrough? And that's when I started doing full playthroughs of games. So there you have it. My actual original video ever was 2007, but it was just a random Street Fighter tournament no one really cared about. It wasn't until 2008 that I started doing gameplay, and that's when that stuff started catching on. No, I'm not into competitive eating. Don't know anything about it, really. Derek, no, I don't know the release date of the new Pokemon game. It's sometime in November. Like mid-November, I want to say. Pokemon Scarlet Violet, November 18th, same day as The Devil in Me, which is the next game from the Dark Pictures anthology. So there you go. Let's see here. Christian says, why do you think they're remaking Silent Hill 2 instead of 1? Because 2 is regarded as like the best one out of the trilogy. Everyone agrees. Like 1 is good, but 1 is very rough around the edges when it comes to the gameplay elements. And even though the story is pretty good, I like the story of 1. People think that 2 is better because of the crazy psychological horror aspect of it. And what I mean by that is, in Silent Hill 2, like everything you everything you encounter is actually a representation of something within one of the characters in Silent Hill. Pyramid Head is representative of something in the main character, right? The big boss that's a mutated freak ends up being something about the horrible, abusive past of a girl who's right outside the boss room or in the boss room with you. So once you get those connections and you realize that, it blows your freaking mind away. Like, oh my God. When you start realizing that everything connects to something in a big overlying plot, it's actually really neat. So I think that most people think Silent Hill 2 being the best one should be the one to be remade. And then if Silent Hill 2 remake does well, sure, then go back and remake 1 and remake 3, but they want 2 first, okay? It's kind of like saying, why did they go and make Final Fantasy 7 remake? Because people, for some reason, which I disagree with, collectively said that they thought that was the best one. I don't think so. I actually think 4 and 6 are better than 7. I still like 7. I just replayed it this summer and actually really enjoyed doing that. But I think that the older ones are better. But because it was the first PS1 Final Fantasy game, people still freak out about this fucking game constantly, which is really dumb in my opinion. And that's why that ended up being the one being remade. So, there you go. Let's see here. I don't have a favorite scary movie. I don't. Sorry. That's right. I played Silent Hill 2 originally in 2012, and then I did a second run in 2018, which was the hardest difficulty. I had no ammo for the end of the game, and I beat the shit out of the final boss with a fucking stick. I actually picked up, it was a rod or a stick, and I just fucking whipped the fucking shit out of the boss with this stick until it died. I didn't even know you could do that. I just like whipping the shit out of it, like, fuck you, and I beat the game like that. I can't believe I did. It took a while, but I got it done. That was pretty good. Overpowered Boone says, likely the Pikachu hat will be very popular during my Pokemon playthrough. Here's the thing. The Pokemon playthrough will probably be a chill playthrough, but it's not going to be for the mainstream. You're not going to see big views on it. It's more for like late night chill. You likely will almost never see $100 of tips raised on that playthrough. I really doubt it. So, it is what it is. Did I like the UFO joke endings of Silent Hill? I don't think I ever saw them, right? We didn't do them? I don't think we did. Or if we did, it was like one off. I mean, it's kind of silly that they have those multiple endings, but I don't really care, you know. Those endings are just meant to be a kind of a joke. Plague Tale Requiem will either continue Saturday or Sunday. The real determining factor here is how we like Gotham Knights. Because it's official. I had a really good day today. Thank you all for your support today. I absolutely can afford the game. In fact, what I will likely do is buy it like tomorrow to pre-install it. So yes, 100% Gotham Knights is happening on Friday. We're going to see how it goes. If it goes well and you guys really like Gotham Knights, then I'm going to be doing Gotham Knights again on Saturday. But if maybe we play Gotham Knights and we don't like it as much, then we're going to do Plague Tale Saturday and we'll go back to Gotham Knights on Sunday. So it's either going to be Gotham Knights, Plague Tale, or Gotham Knights, Plague Tale, Gotham Knights, depending on how it goes Friday. So I don't know exactly when I'm playing it again, but it's either Saturday or Sunday. There you go. Derek, as excited as you're getting for Saturday night, I don't think you should. Because he says, I'm excited for Saturday night because I'm going to play Disney Dreamlight Valley on Saturday night, and Lion King is one of his favorite movies of all time. We're not going to see Lion King on Saturday. Lion King content is in the game now. My wife has confirmed it. She's been playing it today. But I need to unlock the Sunlit Plateau to do it. I just unlocked the Glade of Valor, and I need to do a bunch of quests there and grind. I have no currency to open Sunlit Plateau, and it takes a lot. I mean, it's like 4,000, if not 5,000. I think it's 5,000 to unlock Sunlit Plateau, so I can't even get the Lion King content. I'm stuck. So don't expect it on Saturday. Basically, what Saturday will be is me exploring this other area that we had opened, trying to do as many missions there, trying to earn as much as that in-game currency, whatever it's called, Dreamlight or whatever, to unlock the new area. But I'm not going to be able to do it right off the bat, because they did is they hit it. They basically limited it to that area. There is new content in the game, so that's good. There is more, but I doubt it's going to be several sessions of Disney Dreamlight before we even unlock it. So, okay. By the way, I'd just like to say, if you're spamming the chat with really, really dumb questions, and you notice I'm not addressing them or answering them, it's probably on purpose. So it's probably in your best interest to just stop, because I'm not paying attention to you, and I'm not going to answer your dumb questions, because some people are really, really stupid questions. I'm not going to answer those. Yes, I was watching Kat during the break between streams. I was watching Kat play a little, and what they did is they have a whole Halloween event going on. It's the same as that Pixar event where you could buy certain like decorations, clothing, and items from this limited time thing where you earn currency by doing things in the game. And there's all kinds of Halloween themed stuff. There's pumpkins, there's poison apples, there's costumes you can wear. There's a big throne with like a gargoyle on it. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff for sure. I'm pumped for Call of Duty 2. I genuinely really enjoyed that beta, and I think I'm really going to enjoy the final game. I think it's going to be something we're going to play probably a couple times a week for a while. I don't know how long, but, you know, probably for, you know, at least a month or two, and really enjoy it and see if you guys like it longevity-wise. But I liked it. I was like, damn, I wish there was more maps, because if you remember, they only had like 2 or 3 maps available in the beta. I was like, damn, I wish I had like 8 or 9 maps. That would have been perfect. So, I can't wait. Okay. Was the weather cooler today? Yes, and it's going to continue to cool down. In fact, tomorrow we're beginning full clouds and rain. It's going to be, well, actually, I take that back. Tomorrow's full clouds. Starting Friday, full clouds and rain. And every single day coming forward in the Friday, rain, 80% chance. Saturday, 70% chance of rain. Sunday, cloudy. Monday, 60% chance of rain. Tuesday, cloudy. Wednesday, rain. Thursday, rain. Friday, rain. Fall weather. And all the temperatures are going to dip another 10 to 20 degrees. So, thank God, because we need it. We had such an insanely long summer season that wouldn't go away. It was ridiculous how long it lasted. So, I'm very happy that now we're going to have cool weather. It's going to be cool. I'm going to be able to have the blinds open, natural light, fresh air coming in here for all the new releases. It's going to be exceptionally good. By the way, if you guys have not noticed this week, did you notice a difference on the streams? Because now that we're at the end of the week, I can talk about it. I didn't jinx it. Did you notice that as soon as those temperatures went down, the pollen went down? And did you notice my voice has been fine for the last several days? I have no swelling in my throat. I'm able to talk fully with you guys. If you're not noticing, I'm not constantly clearing my throat. My post-nasal drip has not been bothering me. Finally, it took this freaking long to get to this point. It was normally, I'd start with the post-nasal drip in like April, May, and it would end by like, you know, late August, early September. This year, it just wouldn't stop because the pollen was insane outside because of the heat and the sun. Now, finally, we have fall weather, and it's going away. I'm like, finally. Finally. I'm so happy. Good Lord. By the way, if you have something personal you want to talk about to me, email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. I got someone in the chat. Oh, I wanted to talk to you privately and maybe on the phone. Just email me and we'll talk about it. All right? You're trying to get me to have like a conversation about something private in a chat in front of hundreds of people. It's not going to work. It's a bad choice. Bad choice. Thrax did a super chat saying, would you recommend Fairfield College? Sure. Go ahead. Go to Fairfield College. I didn't go there, but if you want to go to Fairfield College, enjoy. I hope you have a good time with it. I know nothing about it, but thank you for the super chat. I really didn't go to Fairfield College. I don't know where this guy got that from. There you go. Okay. You've commented on videos. You've emailed me years in a row. How did I never see your email? Are you putting links in it or something? If you put a bunch of links in your email, it goes right to my spam, and I'll never see it. So I can't help you there. What field was my college known for? Business. It's business school. It had I think it was like the something Dolan Business School, and it was well known for, and it had business connections. The problem was, much like I am today, I was not a butt kisser. I was not someone who schmoozed, and because of that, I went to school, did my work, aced my tests, went home. I didn't have time to spend extra at school. I didn't have time to do unpaid internships. I had jobs outside of school to pay my tuition. So I didn't have the opportunities others had who were fucking kissing ass, schmoozing, taking these unpaid internships. They all got big, cushy jobs when they graduated. I got nothing. I couldn't get a job graduating college because I didn't have connections. It was a joke. It was like I wasted money going there. I really did. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Christian says, do you remember at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, you beat the Pope's ass by stomping his balls? That wasn't Assassin's Creed 2, was it? Wasn't that like Brotherhood? Because he was supposed to be one of the end bosses of the game, and we were in the cave. We chased him down. We pushed him. He fell. And when he fell, I kicked him in the balls. No. Now I remember. I ran up to him, and there was an attack where you can like stagger him by kicking him. So I kicked him in his nuts, and he went, oh. I kicked him in his nuts again. He went, oh. And I kicked him one more time, and he was so stunned by the triple testicle kick. The torsion of the testicles was so strong. He just fell right back into the water, and he actually drowned. His balls hurt so bad, he couldn't swim in the water, and he drowned in the water. That's how I killed him. I'll still remember that to this day. I don't know. I would never forget that. That was Assassin's Creed Revelations Boss Mode Santa, says Hiseo. So some people remember it. There you go. All right. Let's see here. I never played Condemned 2 Bloodshot, so I can't say anything about it. I never played the game. Persona 5 Royal's coming to Game Pass soon. Hey, for any of you who never played the Persona series, Persona 5 is a really exceptionally good game in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. This Royal version, I believe, has extra content, right? It has like extra characters and stuff. Go for it. If you have Game Pass, definitely enjoy it. I'll play it eventually. I'm just not doing it now. I remember how long the game is. If I ever do a second playthrough, it'll probably be as a lead-in and refresher to a Persona 6 playthrough. So let's say they announce, oh, Persona 6 is in development and it's going to be out in 2025. Then I'd probably replay Persona 5 Royal in 2024. By the way, did you hear? I don't know if you guys heard this. Persona 5 Royal is going to come out on Game Pass and it's going to be on these, current-gen consoles. Did you hear that Atlas fucking put out embargoes on what you can upload and stream? I'm not kidding. The game has been out for like 5 years. And they fucking have the balls to put out embargoes. They're assholes. That's the epitome of being out of touch with the culture for which you sell your product to. How do you not understand how stupid that is? This is the Japanese division of Atlas, not the American division. The Japanese division literally doesn't understand gaming culture. They actually think they're protecting their IP for a game that's been out for 5 years and everyone has seen the plot of already. They're that stupid. Okay. I already gave my thoughts on the MVC2 MK arcade cab. I'm not going to talk about it again. In a nutshell, it's an elitist way to sell the games because people want to play Marvel 2 again. There's no way to get it currently on any console. What you're doing is basically creating a crazy barrier for anyone to be able to play it. It should be on consoles for like $10-15. Instead, you have to buy a $600 cabinet to play it. It's a joke. It's not in the spirit of the free MVC2 campaign that was last year. It's really messed up. It's exploiting people, and it's fucked up, and basically, I think it's disgusting. I'm very revolted. I'm very upset and revolted with Arcade went up, and I think that they should be publicly derided for their horrible, heinous, immoral actions. There you go. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Do I drink filtered water or tap water? This is tap water run through my pure water filter. There's your answer. I don't even know anything about Need for Speed Unbound. Is there a new Need for Speed game coming out in December? I recently checked all the release dates, and I didn't see any Need for Speed game in December. If you guys think there's a Need for Speed game in December that I should check out, let me know. But it's not on my radar right now. Yes, Friday night will be the conclusion of Friday Night Fights for now. I'm calling it the season finale, since literally I cannot get enough players in a session to really even keep doing this on Friday nights. I'm just going to retire it for now. And then when we have another reason to play, like maybe we want to try it again in a few months' time when the new releases are done, or maybe Street Fighter 6 is having a second beta, or the game is actually coming out in early 2023, and we want to bring it as a weekly Friday thing, I will. But as for now, I just don't see the point in even... Let me put it this way. Literally, the biggest proponent of Friday Night Fights undoubtedly is Jax Raxer. This is a guy who's here every week when we play old school fighting games. He always contributes and supports them. For like a year and a half, 2 years, it's been an ongoing thing with Jax Raxer. After last week's session, even he agreed. He's like, dude, this is it. He's just like, you can't, like, this is bad. This game is dead. You can't do this anymore. You know, maybe bring it back when Street Fighter 6 comes out, but what are you going to do? And yeah, it sucks. As much as I like old school fighting games, I can't have a weekly session where we're not playing half the time. And then when we do play, the connections are utter garbage. People are fucking cheating and shit. It's just not worth it, you know? So, yeah. I am doing the season finale this Friday night, and then we're putting it on hiatus. So, okay. I have no thoughts on DC's Man of Steel 2 movie. I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you speaking of? DC's Man of Steel 2. The only thing I've heard about DC movies, people are reviewing Black Adam, which I think comes out this weekend, and saying it's insanely bad. Like, it's really fucking boring. It's just a bunch of generic action scenes with no rhyme or reason, and the plot is absolutely terrible. The Rock doesn't even save the movie, even though a lot of people thought The Rock would save the movie because it has The Rock in it as the main character. They're like, nah, it's like literally one of the worst DC Universe movies they've made. They really just botched it terribly. So, no, I'm never playing Persona 5 Strikers. That game has literally been copyright stricken into oblivion for anyone who tries to play it on the internet. I'm not joking. Again, Atlas put ridiculously strict review embargoes on it. Like, oh, you can't stream this part, you can't record this part. And people who just had so many issues with it, I'm just not going to bother with it. There's no point. And that's Atlas's fault. Why even consider playing it when I'm in a chance risking my channel? It's not worth it, right? No, I've not seen Halloween Ends. I didn't see any of those new Halloween movies of the last few years. So. Okay. Is there a Dwayne Johnson movie I found funny? I really haven't seen many of The Rock's movies. Like, I remember him being in Doom, and that movie kind of stunk. And I remember a few movies that he did, but I've not really seen many of The Rock's movies at all. I didn't see him in any of the Fast and Furious movies. Yeah, I haven't seen him in any of his more recent roles at all. The Rundown, never seen The Rundown. Walking Tall, I think I saw that one, but that's old, right? That's one of his older movies. Never saw The Tooth Fairy, never saw his Jumanji movies. Nope. Never seen any of these. Literally never seen any of these at all. So, yeah. Okay. Who did better in Hollywood, Rock or Batista? Obviously Rock, because Rock has been one of the highest paid male actors in all of Hollywood, right? There's been years he's been in like multiple, like tons of movies. Batista's doing good for himself, though. He's getting lots of roles. A lot of times you don't hear about it, and then the next thing you know, he's actually like in an ensemble cast in one of these movies. Isn't he going to be in the next, the the sequel to Knives Out, isn't he going to be a character in like the murder mystery sequel, which is cool? You see, it's funny because a lot of people make fun of pro wrestling, all right? And admittedly, pro wrestling 9 times out of 10 is ridiculously, stupidly over the top. But he's a guy who honed his craft for being kind of dramatic in pro wrestling. And then when he retired from pro wrestling, he converted that over to action movies and things like that. And then through those, he honed his craft even better. And now he can actually be a dramatic actor. He's pretty good. So he actually, I think that's like a natural path for someone like him. He was known for being a big buff dude. So get into pro wrestling, but then use that to become more dramatic. Get into action movies and use that to be more serious and keep carrying over. I think he did like the perfect path for someone moving through. Not everyone can be a super ultra megastar like The Rock, you know? But what he did was he's been pretty impressive. For sure. Yeah, I didn't see any of John Cena stuff because some people were like, what about John Cena? I know apparently he did well with that spin-off show. Peacemaker, was it? I never saw it. I don't care. I'm never going to see it. I never saw the second Suicide Squad anyway. I never will. Like, I don't care about it. But, you know, good on him that he's doing, you know, whatever this is, he's doing well or whatever for himself. Good for him. What's my favorite Call of Duty of all time? Probably Modern Warfare 1 or 2. Modern Warfare 1 was the one that kind of started the whole modern revolution of run and gun FPS games. Before that, Call of Duty was all about like World War II, and it was very different style, old style kind of gameplay. But Modern Warfare 2 was the one that I played for YouTube that got me noticed on YouTube. Playing that game on YouTube, I got tons of notoriety. People were introduced to DSPGaming through Modern Warfare 2. And I got so many views and so much, you know, attention from that. And I really enjoyed that game. Hobo X says the second Suicide Squad was equally as awful as the first one. They tricked people with bad taste into liking it. I'm never going to see it. Yes, I've seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think they're all good, and I think Batista does a good job in them. Favorite Dead Space of all time? Probably 1. I like 2, because 2 basically kind of refines everything from 1 and pushes it into a bigger area with the whole idea you're on the space station rather than just on the ship. But I think part 1 is the absolute creepiest when you have no idea what's going on in this game, right? You don't know if the mutations are real. You don't know if people are just going nuts on the space station and mutilating each other because they think things are happening that aren't. You don't know if Isaac, the main character, is actually seeing things that are real. You know, there's a supernatural element to it. I like that. And plus, the gameplay elements were very unique at the time. Now, you've seen those gameplay elements in a ton of games, but the whole chop off parts of the body and you use weapons that are the weakness of the enemy and stuff like that, that was unique at the time. I really liked it. So I would say that's my favorite so far. People ask me the weirdest question. Just listen to this question. Who would you choose to be your fictional sidekick if you had a sidekick? What are you talking about? What? 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 I would pick Wings of Redemption to be my sidekick because we all know he's a fictional character. There we go. That's what you want. You want a stupid answer for a silly question? There's your stupid answer. Wings of Redemption would be my full-time sidekick. There you go. There you go. Good Lord. What do I think of Daniel Craig's James Bond films compared to the others? I haven't seen many of the others. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 of the Connery. I saw at least one of the Pierce Brosnan Bonds. And who was the other guy in the middle? Roger Moore? I think I saw one of his as well. And I would say my favorites were definitely, you know, Sean Connery and actually Daniel Craig. They're completely different characters, completely different versions of Bond, but I like those two. So there you go. Who should play Kratos or Is it Kratos or Kratos? I always say Kratos, but some people now like to pronounce things differently. They're like, oh, you know, you've been saying it wrong all along. It's Basil. Basil. Yeah, it's Basil. It's not Basil. It was always Basil. You just didn't know what you were saying. Oh, okay. So it's actually Kratos. Okay? Kratos, apparently. Who should play him? Who would look good as Kratos? How about this? No one notable. Get someone who actually looks like him, but is not a known actor. Enough with this casting people just because they're a known actor. I don't want to see Chris Pratt as Kratos. All right? I want to see someone do it who's going to nail the role because they're a good actor who looks like him and acts like him and can nail it, not because it's some fucking celebrity. You see? Excuse me. I have not seen the Hellraiser reboot. No, I have not. Yes, I did go for a run yesterday, and I enjoyed it. I got back into it. I saw the first Conjuring movie. I can't remember if I saw the second one. If I did, I don't think it was good because I don't remember. Wasn't that the one where they introduced the nun character? The second Conjuring? So I think I did see the sequel. I didn't like it. The first Conjuring's quite good, though. Yes. Let us never mention Scorn again now that it's done tonight. We have to pretend like the game doesn't exist. Just zip, like, no, what are you what's Scorn? I already deleted it. It's already gone completely from my console. So we just zip the lip. Zoop, doesn't exist. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's Scorn? Never heard of it. That's the attitude I'm taking. Yes, I've seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Absolutely. Will I still run when it gets cold? I mean, it's actually easier to run when it's cold. When it's cold, you can easily, you know, get moving and it's fine. It doesn't bother you. I mean, it doesn't get super cold here. Like, okay, see, I know why Cooper's asking this question. Because in the winter, normally in places it gets really cold. It doesn't get really cold here in the winter. Like, the coldest we'll get is like 40, 50 degrees. The only time we get really, really cold is very rare. It'll be like for a week when we get a little bit of snow. But very rare would that happen here. So I'm not worried about it. In fact, I think it's going to be easier to do it. Am I a pumpkin spice guy during the season? I do enjoy pumpkin spice. In fact, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? I believe my wife and I got a pumpkin spice frappuccino. A smaller one, though, because we didn't want to eat 1,000,000 calories. And it was pretty good. Everett says in Connecticut you got to rock a full Under Armour shredder skin suit from December to March. Right, it's not that cold here. At least where I live. There are parts of Washington that get cold. Not where I live, it's moderate. It's meant to be moderate during these times of year. That's why I tell you guys I love the fall. I love parts of the winter unless it's really cold, but I love most of it. It's the perfect time of the year. My windows open, fresh air coming in, cool, relaxing, calm, everything's good. When the heat comes, that's when it sucks here. Guts, you have a good night. Thanks for chilling. I'm more of a fruit pie versus a pumpkin or sweet potato pie kind of guy. I love cherry and apple are my two favorites. What category for costume won? Video game character. But my costume arrived and was incomplete. It did not have all the things in it that it said it was going to have. It was funny. I told the story already. I'll tell it again briefly. This is why you don't order shit online. So, I'm searching for a costume. I told you guys I couldn't actually get the exact costume I wanted because it had been sold out everywhere in my size. So I said, oh, I found another costume that's pretty good. Let's get this one. All right? I look all over, and here it is, and it includes this, this, and this, and this. It even shows you the scan of what's supposed to be the packaging for it and everything. Oh, okay, cool. I order it. It's expensive, by the way. This year is my most expensive costume I've ever gotten. I'm not kidding. It is. I don't know why, but it was the most expensive costume I've ever bought for Halloween. So I order this costume. It shows up, and I open it up. I'm like, oh, this part is really cool. Oh, this part is good. So I start trying the stuff on. I'm like, oh, this fits really well. This fits really well. Oh, cool. And I said, wait a minute. Where's the rest? Oh, they sent me the costume that doesn't have all the stuff. And if I'm looking at the front of the costume that I got, and it basically says includes this, not included. I was like, wait, what? And I compare it directly with what it showed online, which says it was included. So what it probably was they were originally selling an older version of this costume that had all the stuff, and now they're selling a version that doesn't. But who the fuck's going to argue, right? Like, so they get away with it. They charge this price that's way too expensive that doesn't even have all the stuff for it. So I need to have a chance to go out and get the rest of the costume. I'm thinking 1 or 2 extra things would be perfect. So yeah, I'll either do that tomorrow when I'm out, or I'll do it next week, because I think next week my wife and I might actually go out together. Tomorrow we're not, because again, you know, being so tight on money and everything, we don't have a lot of money to spend. But next week I think we should be able to go out and do some stuff together. So maybe next week we'll hit up those Halloween stores and see if I can get these as final accessories. Derek's favorite Halloween costumes I've ever had were Cookie Monster, Colonel Sanders, Ghostbusters, Bob Ross. I've done a lot. I've done quite a lot of costumes. I think this is year 8. Let's see if we can remember. Year 1 was a Ghostbuster. Year 2, I believe, was Deadpool, and that was really sad. That was a really bad costume, I admit. I think year 3 was Bob Ross. No, year 3 was Ezio. Year 4 was Bob Ross. Year 5 was Yoshi. Year 6, I wore 2 costumes. It was Colonel Sanders and Barry Burton from Resident Evil. So technically it's 7 costumes, but 6 years. And then last year was Cookie Monster. Right? I didn't leave anyone out, right? I think that's the 7 years in a row. So this is going to be my 8th annual Halloween event where I'm dressing up, I believe. 8 years in a row. Yeah. Ninja Turtle was way back in the day. Ninja Turtle was over 10 years ago, back when I lived in Connecticut. And that was only for like 1 video. That wasn't even like, oh, I did an event where I dressed up. That was just for 1 stupid video. So... But that's where you've seen me dressed up like a Ninja Turtle. Remember, I used that picture when I did my Ninja Turtle marathon. Jade, thank you. You have a good day off tomorrow. I know a lot of people are starting to take off. And by the way, I am going to adjourn the Q&A momentarily here, just a minute or two. Thanks to everyone who chilled with me this week. This was definitely like kind of the calm before the storm. You know what I mean? Absolutely it was. And... you know, we're in a situation here where there's going to be tons of new games coming out momentarily. Great amounts of new games. I'm excited for them. And I want to say thanks to anyone who chilled with me, anyone who, you know, relaxed and had a good time with me over the course of the last week or two. But now we're heading into the big, hardcore new stuff that's going to be constantly hitting. Okay? So I'm excited for that. All right. I'm going to answer one more question, and I'm going to adjourn for the night. Let's see who gets the final question here. Any good short highlight ideas for the week? I don't know. I have to think about it. There's a few different things that it could be. I would say the conclusion is Scorn, except I don't think that was a minute long. The funny reaction I had to it was probably more than a minute long, so I probably won't fit. I was thinking a few other things that I could possibly do. Maybe a highlight from the Halloween horror sim match. Maybe do like a minute of highlights of crazy stuff that happened during that match would probably be really good. Something like that, I'm thinking. So, all right, guys, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you all chilling and relaxing with me here tonight. I really do. Thanks for everything, and I shall return on Friday with Gotham Knights and all of that. All right, guys? Thanks so much. Cool.